My name is Amelia. I'm 49 years old. I work part-time and live with my husband, Benjamin, and our daughter, Sophia, as a family of 3. Our eldest son, Liam, is 26 years old, and a few years ago, he got married to Olivia, who was working at the same company. Upon getting married, Liam moved out, and he's currently in the midst of newlywed life. Perhaps influenced by Liam, even Sophia, who had always said she would never live alone, suddenly announced that she's leaving home. My daughter said, "I'm already 23 years old, so don't try to hold me back." She began gradually preparing for living on her own. I had thought that Sophia would stay at home a bit longer, so the idea of being alone with Benjamin in the future made me a bit melancholic. 10 years ago, Benjamin had an affair with a young colleague from his company. The affair partner also had a partner, making it what they call a double affair. I later heard from Benjamin, but apparently, they both felt reassured by the fact that the affair was purely physical, given that the other person also had a spouse. However, it seems the affair partner felt differently, and she ended up confessing to her spouse, saying, "I have feelings for someone else and want to get a divorce." Her husband became furious and demanded a large amount of compensation from Benjamin. Feeling at a loss, Benjamin felt that he couldn't hide it any longer, so he came to me and apologized. I was deeply surprised, and I felt emotions like anger and sadness, but Benjamin looked so pitiful, and I thought that even a century-long love could cool down. However, at that time, our children were still underage, so I didn't choose the option of divorce. 10 long years have passed since then, but I couldn't completely get rid of my distrust and disgust toward Benjamin. Because of that, I felt a bit anxious about living alone with him. But then again, we're both older. There's no need to worry about affairs anymore. I made up my mind and decided to forget about the affair, preparing to live alone with Benjamin. One day, I received a call from Liam, and he told me that he wasn't feeling well. The other day, Liam had mentioned to Olivia, "I want to go to the hospital." To which she responded, "If there's nothing seriously wrong, it's a waste of money. Can't you wait until the next health checkup?" But the next health checkup is 3 months away. Liam reluctantly agreed in the end, but this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Previously, when Liam injured his foot and wanted to go to the hospital, she told him, "It's a waste of money to go to the hospital. Just leave it alone, and it'll heal on its own." She didn't give him any money for the treatment. I felt sorry for him after hearing this, so I gave him money to go to the hospital. Sophia said, "That's a weird wife." But I hadn't seen my son and his wife recently, and I thought I couldn't judge by the testimony from just one of them. Wasn't enough to judge the situation. I transferred the money to Liam for the medical fee and decided to wait and see. Then, one day, Liam came to visit me on a long weekend. Apparently, he came by himself because his wife went on a trip with her friend. Seeing him after a long time, Liam looked thin. Moreover, he was eating so much, as if he hadn't been eating anything at all. "This is delicious. More, please." He was devouring his food like a growing boy. "Mom, I need to talk to you." After finishing the meal, Liam began to talk with a solemn expression. "What's wrong?" "Well, you see. Recently, Olivia has been buying luxury items a lot. For about a year now, Liam has been giving all his salary to Olivia, and entrusted her with managing the household finances. However, recently, she had been buying only high-end branded items that she couldn't possibly afford to buy just with his salary, and he found it strange. Around that time, when Liam looked at the bank book he had been saving money in since he was single, he found that the savings of around $30,000 he had accumulated before getting married had dwindled to less than $5,000. When Liam confronted Olivia about it, she replied, "But, you know, limited edition bags and things like that sell out quickly, so I just used a little." She didn't show any remorse and admitted to using Liam's savings. "Just a little. You've already spent over $20,000, and I've been saving it for emergencies or when we have kids. I'm really worried about our future." Seeing Liam, who had always been optimistic about everything, Looking so concerned about money, I figured that they'd been facing a serious problem. I felt that I needed to talk to Olivia, so I arranged to meet her sometime later. Just then, I received a call from Benjamin, and told me that Liam had collapsed. It's serious, Liam has collapsed. Olivia and I are with him in the ambulance. Amelia, please come quickly. I hung up the phone and hurried to the hospital. Since Liam couldn't find a job for a long time, my husband helped him to get a job at his company, and they've been working together. Therefore, when Liam collapsed at work, Benjamin and Olivia, who were at the workplace, accompanied him to the hospital. How is Liam? Is he okay? Oh, Amelia, you're making such a fuss. We're in a hospital, you know. Please lower your voice. In a fluster, I entered Liam's hospital room, and Olivia said that with a smirk on her face. Olivia. What's going on? I questioned Olivia, who didn't seem to be worried at all, without thinking, but, come on now, Amelia, you're overreacting. She just laughed and evaded the question. How could she be laughing when Liam has collapsed? Even Benjamin, who had sounded frantic on the phone, now seems calm, casually sipping canned coffee, and he doesn't seem to question Olivia's attitude in any way. As I thought that it was suspicious, I asked Benjamina and Olivia to leave the room, so that I could talk to Liam alone. Liam, are you alright? What happened? Thanks for coming, Mom. But I just fainted a bit. Just a bit. Maybe because I haven't been eating much lately. Haha. Liam answered with a smile, trying not to worry me. Since Liam seemed reluctant to discuss the situation further, I decided to ask about something that had been bothering me. Haven't you lost too much weight recently? I've been so worried. What kind of diet have you been following? Liam lowered his gaze and awkwardly replied, well, you see, Olivia doesn't cook at home. It turned out that Olivia had stopped cooking altogether at some point, and recently, she had even stopped doing household chores. She only gives him $100 a month, and he had to manage all his meals for the month with that. Mom. Where is Liam? While I was talking with Liam, Sophia arrived at the hospital, looking anxious like me. As soon as Sophia saw Liam's face, she raised her voice and asked, Liam, you've been saying you're not feeling well for a while, why didn't you go to the hospital? She confronted him with concern. As it turned out that Sophia had known that Liam wasn't feeling well long before I did. Every time she talked to him, Sophia would say, why don't you take some time off work? You should go to the hospital. However, Liam stubbornly refused to go to the hospital. I have to work. Olivia switched from being a full-time worker to a part-timer, so it's not the right time for me to go to the hospital. Even though I had met him recently and sensed he wasn't well, I never imagined it would lead to him collapsing, and I blamed myself for not noticing his condition sooner. Actually, the money you gave me for my medical expense, Olivia told me to save it and didn't let me use it. When Liam told me, both Sophia and I almost went crazy with anger. Later, when we talked to the attending physician, he told us that the cause of Liam's collapse was overwork, stress, and malnutrition. She had been depleting Liam's savings without his permission, refused to let him go to the hospital until he collapsed, and even took the money for medical bills I had given him. I couldn't believe how heartless she had been. I finally decided it was time to confront Olivia. Wait, Mom. I was thinking. As I was leaving the hospital room to look for Olivia, Sophia stopped me. Could it be that Olivia is having an affair or something? Huh? I thought I misheard it when Sophia suddenly said that. Well, you see, Olivia has been acting as if she doesn't care what happens to Liam. And recently, Liam had been saying that something was off with her even at work. It wasn't an entirely implausible theory. Moreover, according to Sophia, it was only in the past year that Olivia started controlling Liam's money, and stopped feeding him. It is even more recently that she stopped sending him to the hospital. Perhaps it was an action she took to be with her lover. Maybe Liam was in the way. Sophia and I decided to start by investigating the affair. I thought about asking Benjamin, who works at the same company, whether he had noticed anything suspicious about Olivia. Considering my own experience with Benjamin's affair, I figured that affair partners are often found in the workplace. "Hey, I need to talk to you." I found Benjamin in the hospital lobby, drinking coffee alone. I asked him if there were any employees at the company who seemed close to Olivia, or if he had noticed any unusual behavior. "I don't really know. I don't have much interaction with Olivia at work anyway." When I mentioned Olivia's name, Benjamin became fidgety and uneasy, clearly trying to hide something. Perhaps Benjamin knew about Olivia's affair. Her lover may be his colleague, or he has seen them having an affair. If for any reason Benjamin was being blackmailed or threatened, Liam's safety could be at risk. Feeling this way, I hurriedly bought a voice recorder and set it up in Liam's hospital room. This was a lesson I had learned from when Benjamin had an affair. Never did I imagine it would come in handy like this. It felt ironic, but right now, Liam's safety was paramount. The next day, when Liam, Sophia, and I checked the voice recorder, we found something shocking recorded on it. It was an audio recording of a conversation between Benjamin and Olivia, made while Liam was asleep after Sophia and I had returned home yesterday. It's not looking good. Amelia might have noticed the affair. It was an audio recording of Benjamin fussing that I had noticed, perhaps because I had probed his movements. Just as Sophia had suspected, it seemed Olivia was indeed having an affair. Meeting at work should be avoided. If this continues, this might lead to a divorce. Initially, I thought Benjamin, who knew about Olivia's affair, was warning her about it. However, Benjamin's words took an unexpected turn. "We should break up. We need to stop this affair." Stunned by his words, the three of us froze in place. What? What does this mean? Dad and Olivia. Sophia was upset and looked at my face and Liam's face alternately. Despite our bewildered state, the voice recorder continued to play, revealing one shocking statement after another. "It's unfair after I've weakened Liam to this point. I prevented him from going to the hospital, and I didn't even give him food. I never told you to go that far. But if your wife has already found it out, there's no turning back. Let's get rid of Liam and be together." The voice recorder continued to play the conversation between Olivia, who was trying to manipulate Benjamin, and Benjamin, who was silent as if he was thinking really hard. "Tomorrow, I'll mix some medicine into Liam's drink. Once Liam is gone, everything will be resolved. If you don't want your wife to find out, don't say anything anymore." Upon hearing Olivia's horrifying plan, Sophia exclaimed loudly, "Liam is in danger. Mom, we need to call the police." Sophia's words hit me, and I consulted with the hospital staff. Then, they agreed to report the situation to the police. Liam seemed even more shocked by the content of the voice recorder than I was, and he remained in a state of shock. It was worth consulting the hospital staff, and the police seemed to act quickly. At that moment, Olivia, who had originally planned to visit Liam, appeared in his hospital room. And she was accompanied by Benjamin. As if the conversation recorded on the voice recorder yesterday never existed, they came into the hospital room in a good mood holding hands, and they looked very close. Yesterday, Benjamin had mentioned that he had work piled up due to leaving the office to be with Liam, and he didn't return home until late at night. He must have been with Olivia the whole time. I was getting angrier and angrier, wondering what he was doing while our son was in this condition. When I called out to Benjamin, who did not seem to notice me, my voice came out so low that I was surprised myself. "Benjamin." Startled by my voice, Benjamin quickly let go of Olivia's hand and stammered, "What? Were you here already? Wasn't our appointment supposed to be in 1 hour?" He seemed extremely flustered. "What? Do you have a problem with me being here early?" I asked. "And no." He denied hesitantly. Watching silently, Olivia's expression seemed genuinely annoyed. Finally, the police has arrived in the hospital room. What's going on? Who are these people? Clearly not understanding the situation, Olivia initially seemed displeased. But her attitude changed when the police requested her cooperation. "Olivia, can we talk?" "What? What have I done? Did Benjamin call you?" "Ha! It wasn't me." I cornered Olivia and Benjamin, who were confused and unable to understand the situation, so that they could not escape. "Olivia, don't you have something to tell us?" "There's nothing." "What is it with you two?" "There's nothing to talk about." I got straight to the point. "You've been having an affair with my husband, and you were trying to get rid of Liam, weren't you?" What are you talking about?" "That's not." Perhaps she never thought that we knew her plan. She became flustered. Sophia quickly played the recording on the voice recorder loudly. "See? Just give up already." After Sophia finished playing the recording, the police told Olivia to surrender, and she collapsed. Though we thought that she had finally given in, she suddenly clung to Liam, whom she had ignored until now. "It's not true, Liam. Listen. Olivia. Why would you do something like this? I don't want a divorce. It was just a fling. I wanted the thrill of being involved with my husband's relatives, and I wanted the excitement of secret meetings at work." While tearfully pleading with Liam, Olivia started blurting out absurd things. As for Benjamin, he sat with his head in his hands, no longer trying to defend himself. "You've had an affair with my dad and it is disgusting. There's no choice but divorce." "No, I won't get divorced." "Olivia, do you even realize what you've done?" Even faced with such stern words, Olivia refused to back down, much to Sophia's exasperation. "How can you think that he can stay married with someone who tried to get rid of him? Give up already. There's no choice but divorce." Sophia's words resonated deeply with Liam, who nodded in agreement. Then, Olivia proposed an outrageous condition. "Fine. If you're really insisting on divorce, I'll demand alimony. I'm going to ask for $50,000 from both Liam and Benjamin. And if Liam dies, I'll collect the insurance money too." I was so dumbfounded that I could no longer speak, but since she had no clue, I decided to tell her clearly. "Olivia. What now? I won't lower the amount. You're the one who'll be paying alimony." "Huh? That's ridiculous. Women get alimony when they divorce." "If you keep saying nonsense, I'll demand the compensation from you, too." "Olivia, your mother-in-law is right. Let's go. We have evidence, after all." The police intervened to restrain Olivia, who seemed ready to pounce at any moment. "No, that's not true. That's not. Liam, help me." Liam was no longer even looking properly at Olivia's face, as she cried and complained. "Benjamin, please do something. We were in love, weren't we?" Olivia turned to Benjamin for help this time, but he brushed her hand away. "Enough already," he shouted in a voice unheard before, rejecting Olivia with a forceful tone. "Why won't anyone help me?" Olivia was taken away by the police just like that. Until now, Olivia, who had Liam and her lover Benjamin, was living a good life, doing whatever she wanted with Liam's money. However, she was put into a police car, and disappeared with a haggard face. "Well, Dad, why don't you explain what had happened?" After Olivia was gone, Sophia crossed her arms and confronted Benjamin. "Have mercy on me. It was a moment of weakness. I never thought Liam would end up like this. Would you have an affair with your daughter-in-law just because you had a moment of weakness? And besides, it's not even the first time for you. Sophia, did you know? 10 years ago, when Benjamin first had an affair, I debated whether to tell the children, but they were still in junior high and high school, and they were going through a sensitive period, so I decided to keep the affair a secret. That's why I never told them about Benjamin's affairs. I kind of figured out myself. Both you and Mom were acting strangely. I noticed too. Even Liam had noticed. I was disappointed in myself, for not having been able to hide it from my kids. Don't be too hard on yourself, Mom. Dad is the one at fault. Benjamin couldn't say anything anymore. Just leave the house for a while. Please. All right. When you're ready to let me come back home, let me know. Benjamin, looking somehow diminished, with drooping shoulders, left the hospital room. 3 days later, Liam was able to leave the hospital safely. Olivia was arrested. Even so, neither Liam nor I were satisfied, so we hired a lawyer and demanded compensation from Olivia. Liam, of course, also filed for divorce. Olivia's mother sold off all the luxury items that Olivia had bought while they were married, and used the money, along with Olivia's savings, for compensation. Olivia apparently wailed, "They are my luxury items and my savings." Even at this point, Olivia's parents shouldered the remaining compensation that Olivia couldn't pay. Olivia's mother was in tears when Olivia did not stop speaking offensively, despite receiving so much help. I wonder where I went wrong in raising her. When my family and I heard this whole series of events from the lawyer, we were utterly amazed at how hopeless Olivia seemed. However, Olivia, who had been disowned by her parents due to this incident, was left with nowhere to turn. Since we don't know what Olivia is up to in the future, we also obtained a restraining order, so that she won't be able to come back to Liam after she is released from the prison. As for me, in the end, I had lost all trust in Benjamin, who had been unrepentantly unfaithful twice. The wounds that had started to heal over the past 10 years were now irreparably worsened by the most intense and awful situation, as an affair with our daughter-in-law. Not only that, but also because he didn't stop Olivia from trying to get rid of Liam, I realized I could no longer live with him, so I decided to get a divorce. Benjamin did try to resist, but perhaps realizing the weight of his own wrongdoings, he surprisingly agreed more readily than I had expected. Sophia promised to support Liam until his wounds healed, and put her plans for living alone on hold, and now I'm living happily with Sophia and Liam.